You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona. With me always, my good friend
Jay from the hills of Texas.
And we are excited. We're missing AK Mike tonight. I think he's out doing that. He is part of the community theater in his area. Yeah, it's something that he does on the side. And he's either their marketing or sound guy or whatever it is. But anyway, we always excuse him because he's out doing that kind of thing. And we support him in that matter. So we're going to let him skip tonight. But we do have a special guest with us, and we're excited. We would like to welcome to the show our friend Shannon Gallagher. We always support the Arizona Electric Festival, and in 2023 we are going to do that again. And Shannon is the president over at the club that puts that on. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Glad to be on as always. I miss you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time just flies by. It feels like we were just there. We were just there, and now here we are back, about to go again. So, but this is exciting. This is a big year for you as well, right?
Yeah. So this is my final year as president of Arizona Model Aviators. I've been president the last 4 years.
Say it isn't so.
Yeah,
right.
I put in my time. I think we accomplished a lot. I don't know if you guys have been to the field in a while, but we updated the sound system. We have like permanently installed speakers, and we're still doing a little fine tuning on that. But it's instead of like having to lug out the ladder and get up on the roof and fall and end up in the ER, it's turnkey basically. So it's But we didn't want anybody in the ER. It was just getting to the point where it's just old and fragile, and so
right.
So yeah, the field's in top notch shape. And just going to be even more so for AEF 2023 coming up here in 2 months, just 2 months away.
Now it's a different date. It's at the beginning of the month this year.
Yes, and there's a couple reasons for that. Biggest being the Super Bowl.
Yep,
is here in the
Valley. It'll be here.
Yep, the following weekend, and also Waste Management Phoenix Open. They're all the same weekend, which is insane.
I know, it is insane. I
don't know how it's gonna. This town's gonna be just on fire.
Yeah,
literally, it'll be like LA riots or something. It's crazy.
There's one other event going on that week too, and I can't remember what it is, but there's one other thing there's like 3 big events that weekend, not including the Arizona Electric Festival.
Yeah, well, we want to give everybody a break. We didn't want to overshadow the Super Bowl and the Phoenix Open. Because Tiger Woods, he's okay, but
but coming to see Lance, that's way better. Right there.
Yeah, whoever's in the Super Bowl, but I'd rather come see airplanes fly. So
right.
Give a break,
yep.
So is there any reason why you don't do it in March?
We have other events in March that have kind of I'd say more legacy events. So it's just worked out that schedule's been what it is. So, so it's nothing grandiose. That's just our schedule, because we actually, one of our biggest complaints from our club members is we have too many events.
Really?
Yeah, especially in the spring, because that's our flying season. Where a lot of places, the summer's the flying season, and I'd say the rest of the U.S. almost.
That's
for
true.
us, that's like ghost town.
Right.
It's too hot.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah, but still, our last big event we have is the Electric Jet Day. It's called Jet Day at the AMA. And it's now a 2-day event, and it's usually the first weekend of May, and it's already about 100 degrees, middle of the day, so it gets a little warm, but we still do it. So that's about the last big one. And another thing that's going to be kind of changing with our events going forward, my event's not affected, but we're going to start going to more of a 2-day model, like Friday and Saturday. As you guys know, Sundays everyone's either packed up or they're out the door already. Right. So and then that way we can give some time back to the club members. Say, hey, come out on Sunday. and you'll have a good time. So we're we figured with attendance and the costs of everything, we're kind of wasting space. So we're giving that back. We're still doing 3 days for this. I'm sure it'll still be a ghost town on Sunday, but going forward, you'll probably see it be a 2-day, or maybe like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We used to do this. It used to be a 4-day event.
Yeah, that's true.
Years ago, but just doesn't warrant it now. So that's another big change. But for AEF 2023, it's a 19th annual. So keep getting a little older, a little bolder. One of the things I'm trying to do this year is get people to bring stuff, kind of like in the old days where it was like, you bring out the cool new thing, something you're experimenting with. Just something something even maybe goofy. I don't know, but just I want it to be more like, out of the blue is kind of what I'm calling it. Is get those planes that no one's seen before, or haven't seen in a long time, and let's get them out there and fly and have a good time. So that's kind of what I'm pushing.
Well, that's good, because Jay and I have a bunch of those that people haven't seen in a while.
Oh, good.
I got some airplanes that have some dust on them.
Yeah,
several actually.
Some that aren't completed yet. Yeah.
That's right. Some that are still sitting over there, still in the box. So yeah, that'll be good.
So,
excellent.
We're already hitting up the sponsors, vendors. We've got a lot of interest already for that. So Horizon's already committed to having another big presence like they did last year.
Very cool.
They had a really good time. They had so much fun. I think you guys all talked to the guys, and they just loved it, and we're really happy with it. And so they're going to do more this year, which is even better.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to that.
A couple of new sponsors, FR Sky, Free Sky Radios. They're going to be coming out. They were just out here for the Jet Rally and had a good showing. Actually, I just bought one of the radios, so I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. But
very nice.
Another new radio, Shannon.
Another new radio. Well, I haven't bought a radio in years. See, my IX12, the throttle trim hasn't worked in about 6 months, so I just haven't had time to send it in. And it's still, I can, who uses throttle trim on electrics? Come on,
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen. So, but I just haven't had a chance to send it in, and then, just some of the features. And I think I told Mike they're kind of interested in talking to you guys too. So maybe you'll come on, see you guys.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to those guys.
Oh yeah, he's excited. So
we'll have to get Mike on for that one, because he's a big, FR Sky user.
Okay, good. That's even better. So he'll take that. And we're just really, it's just psyched to have it again, because I just, this is, my event since I took it over a couple years ago. It's kind of everything just kind of works, and I don't have a huge crew. Like when I first started this, there was like a huge crew of people that, this person did this and this person did that. And I guess, I don't know if it's technology or just, everything just got kind of automated to a point where I just have I still have a few guys to help me out, but it's just not as labor intensive as some of the previous ones were. So we're looking good.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm the best security crew in the world up there.
That's right.
Yes.
Really top notch.
I know. Just
not a plane stolen.
Nothing was stolen. No.
And several saved airplanes as well.
That's right.
You guys.
Barrett.
Saved
Barrett's had a couple that were saved in the middle of the night. So
Barrett's gonna.
We actually enjoy it there.
Yeah, Barrett's gonna have a really cool. He's got a beautiful Concorde that he scratch built.
Oh,
and
no kidding!
It's a pusher prop, but it's still it's beautiful. And
really?
He was going to have an XB70 Valkyrie,
Yep.
And we were working on that, and it was huge. And I put the power systems together for him. He's not a big fan of actually working with electricity, but loves flying it. So we were putting that together, and then all of a sudden he just changed gears. Says it's too big, I can't do it. Let's do something simple for him.
Right, yeah.
Well, but it's beautiful.
If what you call simple is what he calls simple.
Yeah. He's and his finishing. Sometimes he didn't finish his planes quite as nice. His finishing skills are getting way better, so he's really
good.
I'm not bad mouthing Barrett at all. I don't mean this. I just as times go on, he just ups his game every time, and that's what we love about this hobby is people just bring in what they got and take it to that next level.
That's true. That is amazing. Now, I remember several years ago, somebody had maybe an XB70 or something like that, or a Concorde.
Clark Hans had a
Clark.
couple Concords in the past. He loves that plane too. So it's not like we've never had a Concorde, but just I think what Barrett decided to do as far as the paint scheme and the finish, it's just phenomenal. So
all right, we're looking forward to seeing
I'm
that.
excited. I gotta put the power system together for it now because I gotta strip the whatever I did for the other ones. This exact same system, just not one of the engines. So
cool. That is very cool.
So is it one?
That's kind of gonna be exciting.
Do you have one engine, two engines? What do you power?
Oh, it'll be two. It's got two Power 15s, E-flite Power 15s pushing it.
Okay.
So those are good for about a 5 pound, 5 pounds each, right? So the plane definitely weighs less than 10 pounds. So it should perform just nice. The XB70 was barely going to get off the ground. It was going to be like, flying.
There's your problem.
Yeah. Well, I've tried to get him to do EDF. Like he has EDFs. He has, I don't know if you guys saw it a couple years ago. He took one of the free wing A6s and made it the EA6. He totally redid the nose, and so he's got EDFs. But when we built them from scratch, he hasn't had as much luck with getting them in the air. So he's kind of sticking with what he knows in that respect.
Yeah, well, the prop's pretty efficient. So a lot of park flyer jets out there that have pusher props. So I've flown many, and especially
nothing wrong with it.
Scratch built.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it at all.
So, well, that's exciting. The Free Sky guys are going to be out there, and what other sponsors are coming out?
We already got Eflux RC. They always provide some great stuff. We'll have Zap, CA, House of Balsa, Paul's longest serving sponsor of our event, pretty much. ePower. Hopefully, Ron, who runs ePower these days, hasn't been doing really well health wise, but he's hoping to be good for AEF. And I'm trying to think who else. Got a couple of our local guys that have like a little swap shop. I remember Aaron. He couldn't come last year because he had COVID. So, but he's coming back, and he always has lots of vintage stuff. It's brand new. He digs it up somewhere. Got like a stash somewhere. He's got like a big cave filled with old kits and stuff, or I don't know what he does, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And more to come. We just we're still finalizing the list. I've got I threw the word out to everybody, and I got a lot of let me let you know after Christmas. So we'll keep that open, but looking forward to it.
Well, we always look forward to the sponsors. They always have some pretty cool stuff out there, and it always I always part with money when I go out that way for one of the sponsors or two.
Yeah,
it never fails.
Yeah,
I don't know. Tim Hanstein was out there one time, and I think I spent my whole paycheck in his little booth. So
yeah. The last year we had a conflict with a 3D event.
3D
SAD event.
Yeah,
so
the Huck Fest or
SAD, that's a different time this year. So we don't have that. Talk to him. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he makes it out. And I say that 3 or 4 of the guys have just kind of been said, give me after the holidays. I'll give you a call and we'll get you set up. So.
Well, that's exciting. Well, tell me the dates once again. There, it's February
3rd, 4th, and 5th.
So that's the first weekend in February.
First weekend in February, and like I said, because of Super Bowl, we moved it up. And then there's also another event, Winter Warbirds, up at SVF. So we like to try and play as nice with the other clubs as possible. So.
Sure.
And I know.
Well, that because I think Tony and Horizon will be at that event too because he puts it on. So you don't want to conflict with those guys. You lose that sponsor.
Exactly. So we make it all work out. So So Allie McChinsey's coming back, and John Gerhard lives here. But I just talked to John a couple days ago about this, and he's really excited. So all good. You know John. You know John very well.
I do. I do know him very well. Yeah. We worked together actually.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Although we used to, I can say now that we used to because he's retired now. Or he just had his retirement party.
Yeah.
So he officially retired. Now he has full time. I told him, I was like, you got a full time. We have this big poster at work it's got a picture of the airplane stuff. And so I signed it. I was like, now you got all the time in the world to play with those little turbines now that you get rid of the bigger ones. Yeah. So hopefully I was working. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend his party, but that's kind of exciting for next chapter in his life as well. So, and a great team pilot as well. So we always look forward to flying with John. Well, so are there what kind of gaggles and stuff have you have planned? Can you talk about that yet? Or
Yeah, so I mean, we're definitely gonna have our noon show as usual. Again, Horizon wants to be a big part of that. I was just talking with Steve from Free Sky. He's got some guys that do an EDF demo,
very nice.
flying FPV. So that's going to be even
Really?
cooler. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's going to be even cooler. So we'll get those guys out there. And so as time gets closer, we usually, people just bust out from the shadows and say, "Hey, we want to be part of your event." So, but we're going to do a typical, jet gaggle, World War II gaggle. We'll have combat. I'm trying to get back more to the slow stick because you can actually buy one now. So for a while there, you couldn't get one.
This is true.
Yeah, I forget who's selling them, but they're out there now. It's a pretty easy thing to get. But whatever, we kind of changed it to the rung what you brung. If you don't care, it crashes. So
yeah, that was actually pretty fun watching that because there was, a little something of everything up there instead of all the same airplane. So it made it a little more exciting.
And mine just exploded because
that was exciting.
I'm like flying along, I was like, boom, crashing the ground.
Poof.
I think the aileron broke loose is what I deduced. So, but that I just love doing that. And of course, we'll do a night fly, which is always my favorite.
That's always fun as well. Yeah, that's always a blast.
Yeah, I got the Night Tundra from Hobby King. Great night flying airplane. I love it. It's just so much fun, and it's well lit. You can't miss it. I love my Night Radiant 2, especially with the 3D Aero Ventures landing gear, which really makes it cool.
There you go.
But plug. Hopefully Eric comes back. I reached out to Eric. Haven't heard back from him, but I'm sure he'll be there. He seems to have a good time. So
he likes to come out, so hopefully he'll be there as well.
And he's got to see William fly Barrett's son. William won that Infinity that he raffle, so I want to come out and see him fly that.
Yeah,
but William hasn't been.
Yeah, we're hoping he's coming out. He told us he was coming out because he's bringing some parts for Jay and I's Infinity Wing after our little fiascos.
Gotcha.
Because Jay and I went and actually flew ours, and then we did a second round. Did a whole podcast on it, and we wound up both having the same issue.
I saw
because we hand launched it, it hit it, and then it tumbled and cracked. And so mine's is sitting in pieces. I need a few items, but if I had a 3D printer, I'd print it. But I don't have one here. So he's like, I think I could get a couple extra pieces. And so we're hoping he's coming out to bring it. So from the last I heard, he said he was going to make it. So we're just going to cross our fingers.
All right.
And hope
we'll hold him to it.
We're going to hold him to it. Yeah, exactly. If not, if Jay drives out again this year, he'll just swing into El Paso and pick him up.
Yeah. And got a new food vendor.
Oh,
yeah,
that's exciting.
Gary, our longtime Gary's Desert Dogs. He retired.
Dogs.
We had kind of a guy in between, and he just didn't work out the last event. So I got another guy kind of on the fly, but he does Polish sausages and Philly cheesesteaks and hot dogs and lemonade. They got fresh lemonade. They do snow cones, and they did a great job. So I told him they just did the jet rally. I'm like, okay, this is a good dress rehearsal. AEF's a little bit bigger. They're like, okay, we'll be ready. So they were ready for this one. So looking for that. And then we've had Katie with MF Coffee. She actually got her trailer back up and running. I don't know if you remember, her trailer had gotten wrecked, and she was kind of working off of a little booth she made. But they got the trailer up and running. She had it out for the jet rally, and she's back in business as good as ever. So we've been having the ice cream lady come by in the afternoon, so that's been kind of nice. Even when it's still chilly, still nice to have a little ice cream in the afternoon. So.
Yeah, sometimes.
Better than eating ice cream around the burn barrel.
Yep. Yeah.
Actually, Jay can verify, but we went up to Alaska one time. It was cold, and we couldn't believe how long the ice cream line is in the middle of winter.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Dairy Queen always had a line around it up there in Anchorage for some reason. So it is one of those unique things. If it gets cold and people just eat
Doesn't
ice
matter.
cream.
Hey, we
doesn't melt
have
as
the
fast.
highest per capita, consumption of ice cream up there for the population. So it's one of the
unbelievable
little wonders of the world.
It just lasts forever. It's like the everlasting gobstopper.
Yeah,
ice cream.
nothing like Arizona. You get your ice cream cone; it's already down your arm.
You got 30 seconds before it's like Mission Impossible. This ice cream will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
It's amazing.
It's
you walk outside, it lasts all day.
Right. It's the how many licks does it take to get to a center of a Tootsie Pop? You know, in Arizona, it's ice cream. It takes 3 licks. 1, 2, and then it's
already gone. It's already
you're down into the cone already. So. Well, let's see. The last time I think you had the runway redone. Did you have any other improvements?
Like I said, we did the sound system.
Speakers.
The sound
you said
system.
That, right?
I'm trying to think what else. We've remarked kind of the flight boxes, just to kind of keep them like, this is, if you're flying in Flight Station 1, you've got that table. You've got your own taxiway. That's kind of what you're supposed to stick to. And it's more for safety than anything. It's not like, we just don't want people behind you, trying to start an airplane and you're, making all that noise and racket. I'm trying to think what else. My maintenance guy, Tony, has he's kind of got other things going on. So I'm kind of in the market for a new maintenance guy. But Tony did some amazing things, kind of got us exactly where we wanted to be. Now we just got to maintain it. So I'm going to be on the lookout for it'll be a kind of a more of a group effort now, but he was really the backbone of that for a while, but just decided to move on. So no, he still flies in the field. He's still part of the club, but and I'm sure if I really need him to throw a hammer once in a while, just not at me.
There you go.
He'll help out. But,
he'll be throwing hammers.
Yeah, and then
the hammer throw right at Shannon.
I'm trying to think what else that we added recently. So we just trying to keep the runway in good shape for a few more years before we decide to completely redo it. We spent a little bit more money this year than we wanted to, but again, all these things we wanted to do to get the field, pristine. It was like, okay, we might as well spend it when we got the money. We'll we have our events and our membership and everything. We'll replenish it, whatever we spent. So far so good.
Right. Well, that's exciting. So, excellent. And then pilot raffle is always a really great thing. So I assume that's going to happen this year.
We save the best for last, don't we? The pilot raffle. One of the things with AEF, and I don't know if it's. I hope people don't come just for it, but I think one of the benefits we've always offered is I like everybody to leave with something. And sometimes it's just it's a goodie bag with some glue and connectors. Who knows? It's something, but we've had a lot of great prizes over the years. And this year should be no exception. I already have some prizes that have been shipped to me. So Horizon was more than generous last year. Banana Hobby, Zap provides everybody with glue, of course. Everybody who comes out there always Superstition Hobbies, one of our local clubs, or hobby shops.
Sure,
they'll be out there, of course. I already have them confirmed, and so it's one of the things I really pride myself that I can give everybody something, and can I give everybody a brand new airplane or a radio? No, but I can still. It'd be nice.
Wow,
you get a radio.
Wow,
you get a radio.
You get a radio. Reach under your bench.
You
wow.
don't.
Doesn't work that way. Yeah. Maybe I need to.
Is it you're on Santa's naughty list? You don't get it.
I need to get Oprah Winfrey to sponsor the event. Everyone will get a brand new car. So.
Yeah, everybody gets a brand new car. Yeah, exactly.
Not paying the taxes, obviously, but yeah. So we always I always say it. When I first. We don't guarantee it, but I do my very best to make sure it happens. And so far, knock on wood, it's happened every year. So I don't see that any different.
And that's really for me that impressed me the most with, not just, everything that you do, but it's like that extra cherry on top.
Yeah.
That, okay, everybody, remember those numbers you have? All right, we're going to give out a raffle.
Yep.
I'm just thinking, first time I was just thinking, oh, okay, like you said, a thing of glue, maybe. I don't know. What, a battery? What? Oh, a charger? What? Hey, that guy got a plane. Oh man, this is.
Oh yeah. Radios, planes.
Where's my tickets?
Bring them out. Where did I put those things? It's part of your entry. So as long as you pay for the full weekend, the price is going up a little bit. It's $50 for the whole weekend. It's been $40 for the longest time, but we're going up to $50. I think that's pretty.
Well, there is an inflation.
Yeah,
so
I think that's pretty much standard for most club events, from what I've seen. I don't think anybody's crying about it. And we still offer. If they just want to come out for the day, it's $25, but they don't get part of the raffle. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a pizza party.
No pizza party
we'll
for
have
you.
Pizza party, yeah, we'll still have that. That's always I think,
and that's another thing. There's a pizza party during the event as well,
true.
with included in your fee.
That's true. Yeah.
You give me
Jay loves the
prizes
pizza
and you
party.
feed me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So,
there.
just, you get bond,
Can't go
meet
wrong
some
with
good
that.
people, and it's just fun. And that's what I just want this people to come out and have a good time. We'll have our noon show with the demos. If any of the sponsors want to have, a demo here and there in between, great. We'll figure that out. But I just like it when people come out and they just fly and fly and fly and fly and chat and chat and chat and buy and buy and buy. And, that's what it's all about. So.
Well, I will tell you that just from my experience over the last 5, 7, 8 years, whatever it is we've been attending, there's been years where I have flown and just been at the line almost the entire
Right.
3 days, and there's been times where I brought a whole bunch of airplanes, and Jay and I spent the entire weekend talking, just to other people. There's always interesting people there. Some of the highlights in the past that I always remember that I'm just like amazed is, we had the guy with the Star Wars Death Star that flew
Oh,
around.
no, Star Destroyer. Yeah. Yeah.
Star Destroyer. Sorry
Yep.
about that. Yeah, the Star Destroyer. And, that was amazing. And then we've had Eric out there with his 3D airplanes. We've had last year we had the OV-10 demos.
Yep.
I mean, it's always just been a great. I think a couple years back there was some guy with like a half scale Cub that was like it was amazing. We had him on the podcast, I think, too, and to see that thing, it had like a 24-volt battery system in it. It was just this huge deal, and it was all built around like a Hobby King 150 or something. It was just massive. And so it's always interesting that there's, literally, and of course Barrett, he always has interesting stuff that's out there, and there's always someone that has something that's very, very cool. I think Barrett brought the little robot out there one year too that was running around out there. It was pretty cool. So if you're a podcast listener and you haven't been to the Arizona Electric Festival, I definitely would put it on your calendar. It is definitely worth it to come on out. Luckily it's the weekend before all of that, so we should be able to find, if you're from out of town, you should be able to find some some sort of a lodging, and it's well worth the $50 for the time being. And you walk away with something. So it's never, in my experience, ever been a bad time, even if the weather didn't cooperate at some point, because we've had those years too, but we've always had a good time. And people fly, it can be cold, it can be windy, it can be cloudy, but everybody has a good time. Everybody leaves satisfied. I don't think I've ever heard anyone ever in my life, or, since I've been here and been attending, someone say, yeah, that was a terrible event. So kudos to you and your club, because you always put on a great show. I have to look back at all those years and say, man, you've done a great job, and you've just elevated it to the next level. So, and kind of give us, we're running short of time, but kind of give us a little heads up on, you mentioned earlier in the very beginning of the podcast that this is your last year, but you're not going away. You're just deciding.
I'll be on the board as part of like the transition for the next year, and then I might run for something else down the road. I'll probably be on the board in some capacity, because the club really means a lot to me. I've been a member off and on of this club for probably almost 30 years, and I was off for a long time. I kind of stepped away from the hobby, but when I came back big after a while, and I never thought I'd be president of the club ever. Never was like, okay, guess I'm here. But I've really, we've had our ups and downs. I think we've had far more ups than downs in the time I've been here, and I think we've done some really good things for the club, for the hobby, and I just hope to keep being a part of that. But I'm gonna be able to fly some more. That's the one thing. I'll go out to the field. I don't get to fly. I'll go out to the field. And I don't even take a plane half the time. We got a club meeting this weekend. I'm taking a plane this weekend, but a lot of times I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go out and get through my 2 hours of meetings, and then after that I'm beat. I'm going to go and take a nap. But yeah, so I love it all. But thanks for your support, guys. Always. I mean, you come out for AEF and just let me come on and talk about it a little bit before is awesome. So thank you.
Yeah, no, we always enjoy it. We are big supporters, big fans, and we hope to be so.
You're bringing an RV, right? All right.
We are.
And
Yeah. Matter of fact, it's about 10 feet
there you
from
go.
me right now. So it's just across. It's on the other side of this wall, and it's already cleaned
Nice,
up and ready to
nice. And then,
go.
of course,
So it's all gassed up.
pilots are welcome. Just to, just let us know. And we had about
Mhm.
13 RVs at the Jet Rally this past
Oh, no
2
kidding.
weeks ago. It
That's
was nuts.
amazing.
So
Yeah. Now you'll have to find more room.
we
but,
made it. We made it.
All 13, it didn't fit in that
No,
little
we
spot.
well, with both sides. We had both sides pretty much covered. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
both sides
so,
going in.
and it was
Gotcha.
kind of too deep. It
Well,
was
very
too
cool.
deep on the west end. Good. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It's
Wow,
fun,
that's
so.
crazy. Well, we are definitely looking forward to it. It's once again February 3rd through the 5th.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Mhm.
3rd through the 5th. 3, 4, or 5, right?
Yep.
So a 3-day event. And we will be out there with the Park Flyer podcast, and Shannon will be out there with the club and the Arizona Electric Festival 2023. We're looking forward
Great
to it.
guys. Nice talking to you. Hope to see all of our
We
your
appreciate
loyal
you
listeners out there
always.
too. Got any questions?
We do.
Our website.
Yeah. Well, if you have any questions, where do they go to register real quick?
www.azmodelaviators.com, and you'll find the link for the AEF page on there. It's got the registration. Everything. Registration is, I believe, registration is open. Yeah, it's open. Yeah, so I was just making sure. I'm like, I think I told them to open it. So yeah, because I know because I'm the one that registered first because I was the guinea pig.
Oh, there you go.
So it's already open. People are signing up, so it's all good.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward again this year. We'll definitely jump on there and register. And if you have questions, you can email us at the parkfirepodcast at gmail.com, or you can post on our Facebook listeners group. And if not, then just go register for the event, pay your $50 and have a great time. Really appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see you out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Shannon, for joining us tonight. We're going to wrap it up from Arizona. I'm Michael.
I'm Jay from the hills of Texas.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.